Okay, so welcome back to my little nook in this part of the universe we call YouTube. Welcome to Koala's Creep In. I am Koala speaking. So, oh, I'm sorry. So, welcome to this episode of my shamanic toolbox. And as you might remember from last time, we are digging through my physical tools. So I have, in the last video, I talked about my drums. So this is the third video. And in the first video, I gave a general, like, overview over my shamanic tools, or some of them. I will probably make more videos than I mentioned at that time, uh, because I might want to include some more um, medicinal or energetic tools. But first we are paving through my physical tools. So in the second video, I talked about my drums and I showed you all of my drums, my 3 drums. Now today we're gonna talk about my rattles. And I have quite a few, and I work more or less with all of them. So I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It feels like I have 7, but I don't. Yeah, yeah, I have 7. Wait, found it. Okay, so I have rattles that are quite like the ordinary rattles, and I have that one that I made a bit weird, maybe. But anyway, anyhow. So I'm gonna talk about my 7 rattles, and I'm gonna talk shortly about them and yeah, what they mean to me and how I use them. So I'm not gonna talk about them in the order I got them. Wait, I have forgotten another rattle. Hold on a second. Okay, I got it. So 9 rattles? Is that true? Anyway. So I'm not gonna go into the order. I'm just gonna pick them like one by one. I'm not gonna like with the drums. I talked about them in the order I received them or I got them, and I'm just gonna talk about the rattle I have in front of me and then take one at a time. And this is the first one, and I love my wonderful microphone, right? But the sound doesn't always come through because after like 2 of these it thinks it's like background noise and it won't really go through. So if someone knows how I can change that, please let me know. So I'm really looking for help in that department to get to know my microphone, because the settings doesn't seem to be working as I anticipate them to. I have a Blue Yeti, and I would like to be able to get some sound through that isn't just my voice, like my rattle, my drums. If you know anything about it, or if you can direct me to somewhere where I can learn about it, let me know. Reach out. Put it in the comments, go to my page where I have my email address, and just send me an email and let me know. Like, maybe put a topic like Blue Yeti, I know how, or something. That would be amazing. So this is one of my rattles. It's I made it myself with the help from a lovely friend called Madeleine, and she is really good at these sort of things, like handicraft things. If she doesn't know how to, she will find out how to. So she and I made rattles together, and I chose to not have a stick on mine, but to have like this, and it hangs on a larger stick, like a walking stick, so that's where it lives. Which it's supposed to live there, but somehow it always ends up living in my it lives like this. That's what I usually have because I use them together, in my rituals. I put those out and then I take other stuff and then they're like a team, like a tag team, I don't know. And this rattle is primarily used for opening circles and closing circles. Opening sacred space, closing sacred space. It is filled with lentils and some crystals. And I really chose the sound to fit the vibe I wanted to have. So that is one of my rattles. It's very simple. It's like rawhide and I don't know what the thread is called, but anyway, so it's a really simple rattle. It's amazing. I use it every day. Every day. So that's one of them. And then I have this one, which is a bit wrinkled with age, and the feather is used to be like this long, and now there's just a little bit of uh, like fluff left, and one quartz stone in the middle. And this is the first rattle I ever bought. It looked a little prettier, as we say in Swedish, when I got it. It's it has been through so much, you guys. It's got, I think it's 8 or 9 years old by now. Maybe younger, but I think maybe 8 years old. And it has been through like rain and thunder and ice and snow and sun and wind, and it's just, yeah, it's been with me through thick and thin, you can say. And this is the first rattle I used to open sacred space with. My very first rattle. I love the sound. It's a bit softer than the other one, uh, and it's easy to do this with. I don't know if you can hear it. It's like a zoom 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 kind of sound, and I use it nowadays. Not so much. I haven't really used it since we had cats, and that's been a while now, because what I primarily used it for were healing, because the cats loved this. And when they heard it, it was like, oh, and they loved having it above here. And it's really good for healing work. It's really good for aligning and centering and aligning chakras and that sort of thing. So energy work for sure. So it's really, it's also very simple. I think it's rawhide as well. Doesn't have to be complicated, you guys. And then I have this one that I also made myself. Come on. There you go. Gotta shake it. Shake the insides a bit. And sometimes one of the stuff comes. So this is a rattle that I dedicated to wind and water. So it kind of goes with my number 3 drum, the blue healing drum. So I really love like this sound. So it's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like this. Almost like it's salt in it. So it's a sea salt. And it's supposed to mimic the sound of the waves almost. And it's in the ends. So this is like the bark of a tree, and I used the inside of that for one of my walking sticks. So I have a walking stick that is out of aspen, and this is the aspen bark that I painted. So I took off the bark and I let it curl on its own, and then when it had dried out or dried up, however you put it in English, I filled it, I painted it, I filled it, and I sealed it. So it's really it's really sealed, but it does have like a little hole there, so some salt comes out from time and again. And this is like I use it mainly for meditation purposes, calming down, calming my nervous system, calming and breathing like in and out, you know. So, how about you guys? Have you made any rattles? Do you own any rattles? Have you bought any rattles? I want to know. Answer the question. Put it in the comments. I will read them. I will uh, reply. So, I think the next one's gonna be this. And this is also like a water element rattle. I don't think it was sold as such, but that's how what I use it for. I don't remember if she got a name, he got a name, but it's coral around the neck here, and it's a feather. I don't remember I think it's owl. I'm not perfectly sure. I love the shape of it like that. So it's built in a different way than the others. And I don't remember much about it actually. But it's also corals inside. Not very. It's been a few years, and today I would not buy this. Okay, I would not buy corals at all. I do have another piece of coral, but it was gifted to me. Uh, Also red coral. So today I would not indulge in that. I would never. But when I got this, I just fell in love with this. So I didn't really think it through. I just, So it got some crystals inside, some corals, and it's got a harsher sound. So this is like an outdoor rattle. It's really harsh. And I actually use it together with some of my drums, and I hold the drumstick, and then I hold this one as well. So every time I hit the drum, this sound also comes in unison to that. And this is dedicated to the water element, if I didn't say that already. And it's more like the nine daughters of Ran. Ran is the sea goddess in the Nordic tradition. So it's more like the nine daughters of Ran and all of those um, traits and properties that they possess. It's not like the calm of the waves coming in. It's not like breathe in and breathe out. This is like that type of energy. uh it's like you better go with the flow. Here's the flow on you. So this is, yeah, I haven't worked with it that much actually, but I have apparently I have 9 rattles, so there's I work with them periodically. So except for the ones I work with every day, I work with them periodically when I go through certain processes or focus on certain things in my shamanic practice. I have used this for journeys, like guiding journeys for others, when I haven't used my drum. Another rattle that I've used for that is this one that I'm going to talk about next. So we say thank you to this one, and we pick up this one. So this is rabbit. This is rabbit or hare. I think it's hare. I think H Hare, right? So it's like wild hair. It's not a cute little bunny, you know. So it's the skin and the fur of a hare, and then I don't really remember the feather. I don't think the feather is necessary. If that falls off, I wouldn't be sad. It's pretty, but it's not the. I don't work with the feather part of it. And then this is pine. It's really light, so it's almost got the vibe of like dry wood, like wood floated up from on the shores. It's almost that light, but not quite. I do prefer my sticks to be a bit on the heavier side, so that I can, put my rattle down like this and it doesn't tip over. So this is my sun rattle, and that's actually the name of it when I bought it. It's also got a bit of softer sound, and I use it when I work with the sun and work with the sun and both the feminine and the masculine aspects of the sun and the energy. So when I first initiated this uh, and welcomed it into my family of shamanic tools, I held a ceremony on. It was so beautiful. It was like we have a lake not very far from here, and there's like these cliffs, right? So I was on the cliff that goes down into the water, and on the cliff where I sat under a tree that was a small pine, like one of those that are like really determined to be alive. It's like it's got its roots around the cliff, and it's got like the the neck of it is like this because it's been through all of the types of wind and weather you can imagine. you know so it was a really beautiful little pine. It was like very small, and I sat under it, and I greeted the sun from the east, and I initiated this into my family. And I had like a sun ceremony, just greeting it with the sun. And then I sat there for several hours. I just had a lovely time with what it was around. It was sometime somewhere between spring equinox and summer solstice. I don't really remember when it was because I bought it in the early spring in April that year. So it was somewhere after that. Um, and it was wonderful. I think I spent almost the entire day there, so that it could like soak up the energies of the sun. And it's filled with citrine crystal and yellow lentils, I think. And I really love the sound of it. It's sweet and gentle, but it's really there, like the pine clinging to reality, clinging to life, being like, I'm here. And I used this in sun ceremonies, in rituals with the sun, where the sun is involved, with ceremonies dedicated to the sacred masculine, more than the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine, I would actually say this is the one for sacred feminine and ceremonies and rituals. So this one I use together with this one a lot. So this is like the sun and this is the moon. This is the light and this is the dark. So this one, you remember I told you I made this one together with a friend? Well, that friend made this one. And she gifted this to me. We were in I wouldn't call it a coven because I'm not Wiccan, but it was like a witches' circle for a couple of years. And during that period, she gifted us with rattles, and this one was for me. So we all got rattles at one point, and this is one for me. So this is like how she sees me when I guide in journeys, like a hovering bird, keeping tabs on everyone, but not intervening in the journeys more than guiding them. So I love the fact that there are like stars on it, and it's like the birds I'm guiding, and then me on the other side, and some really lovely beads that are not, you know, it's just beads. It's not, well, it's plastic, but it's not like badly sourced corals or something like that. So she made this. She's got a website, I think, but I don't know if it's in Swedish only. It's called Skymningsmalen. and she also goes by Runefrost. So you can actually, I think you can buy Rattles from her, and you can certainly, what's the word when you put in an order, like custom made? Because I've had some students, pupils that have bought from her, at least one that, put in a custom order. So I really love this one. I work with it to get like in darkness related ceremonies. When I open Sacred Space, if I don't use the other one that I usually use, I use this one for ceremonies dedicated to darkness or to Hel, the goddess of death. So it comes out during the fall season, like the autumn season, a lot, like between the Eve of the Norns and Skadi's Long Night. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about like the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. Because I celebrate those as the Eve of the Norns, that's the autumn equinox, and then Skadi's the longest night of the year, Skadi's Long Night, is the winter solstice. And in between, where some people celebrate Samhain, or All Hallows Eve, I celebrate the Eve of Hel. And this is the season for this rattle. But I also use it for ceremonies with duality and ceremonies dedicated to duality, or to like bring things from the darkness into the light. And I use these two together then. This is also one of the ones I use for journeys, the yellow one. So the water dedicated and sun dedicated I use for journeys, when I don't use my drums. So it depends on the purpose. So this has got a really harsh sound, almost like it's boulders in there and not crystals. And I don't really remember what's in, but I know it's some crystals, and maybe that's it. I don't think there's any lentils or any. Yeah. It's seeds. Some type of seeds in there as well to make it this sound. But I really do enjoy it. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. So thank you. And I have two left, and I don't really use these much. These two I bought in like an African store here in Stockholm. So they are not from my tradition, and I haven't really gotten to know them that much. I use them as like I had a ceremony right after I bought these with a lot of people, and uh some who didn't bring their own instrument, and we were gonna rattle and drum a lot. And so these one were uh like I could lend them to other people. This is the first. So this is Botswanan. I think this is as well. So they are from Botswana, and the sound is harsher if I do that than softer if I do this. I do love them. Oh, it's starting to dry up. Okay. I do love them, but I rarely use them. I just wanted to let you know that rattles can come in all different sizes, shapes, and materials. So this is like woven, and then there's some kind of hide here. So that's one, and then this one. And this is like, I think it's kind of some, I don't, it's not coconut, but it's like some kind of, um, like fruit or nut, and then it's woven. So this one I haven't used that much either. I have used this one when I dance, like if I have a celebration a ceremony with a celebration where I dance a lot, this is the one I use. Um, because it's really like easy to hold on to when you're just squirming around. So I really do enjoy this. I'm actually gonna use it more. Yeah, I'm gonna use it more. I do really enjoy it. So it's painted in both ends. I have no idea what that means. I think I will maybe do some research. If anybody knows anything about these types of rattles, they're supposed to be Botswanan. That's what I was told when I bought them. And if someone knows a bit about the use of it or the origin of them, please let me know in the comments or reach out. I'd love to know. So, is that all? Yes. Those were my rattles, or those are my rattles. So thank you very much for tuning in today, and I will see you next time. Please let me know in the comments if you have any rattles, or if there's a tool that you would like me to talk a little bit about. Maybe I have a tool maybe you want me to talk about a tool that I have but haven't really planned on talking about, or maybe a tool that I don't have and I can tell you why I don't have it. I try to be mindful about cultural appropriation. So, and that's one of the reasons I haven't really used my African rattles more, because I don't really know when or where to use them. And yeah, so thank you and walk in beauty with all of your instruments and shamanic tools and let me know what they are. And I will see you next time. Xingling!